be fantastic.
Right.
You know, and there are, you know, I had Dr. Fagan on the other day, and
Right.
we you know, every toxin has its own personality, and same with the fillers that we're going to talk
Sure.
about in a second. And you know, I think we all have our tool chest. I will say, for my office, my patients, you know, my patients follow what is the national average, which is about a 1.8 recurrence a year to having a toxin done. So that means a lot of people are undertreated,
Right.
and or they, you know, in my mind, like, I know me, time is money. I cannot
Right.
take off to go do something, and most of my people, you know, they're just busy, and
Right.
it really is more like, if it keeps me from having to drag somebody back in just for toxin alone, this is a huge benefit. And it also kind of, you know, just it messes up my system. I hate to say that, guys out there follow, but just hop in for a toxin, even though it's pretty quick, you know, it's taking out a lot of time of their own day. And it does tend to jam up the system a little bit more. And, you know, one of the things that we struggle with in all medical field is trying to stay on time. And this will actually help us, I think, stay on time, you know, do a benefit for the patient. I think everybody is very excited about this one.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And I think the ability to plan sort of twice a year, it's, you know, I use sort of the dentist analogy. I know this is very different, but you plan. It's like, I know I'm just coming in twice a year. The other thing too, which is, and you're living it real time, is, you know, what impact will these social distancing steps have over time? And so I also think the ability to get a longer lasting result that potentially minimizes the number of times that you need to come in might also sort of be appealing from a social distancing standpoint.
You're so right. Like right now, we're kind of trying to figure out our plan of how do we re-enter and safely do this, because, you know, it's our duty to make sure that our patients stay safe, our staff stays safe. And, you know, we're just thinking, okay, if I have 2 people in an hour and we all are, you know, we have our masks and different masks and shoe covers, you know, we're trying to figure out how to reopen, which we're hoping probably like right now our target is May 4th, but, you know, who knows what's going to happen. I hope. But, you know, but even in the beginning, it's going to be slow going and trying to get people in. And I know people are going to get upset because I can't have more than a couple people a day, just because of, I don't want anybody getting sick more than anything, especially over cosmetic stuff.
Sure.
You know, that would not be cool.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to get sick. I haven't had it. I don't want it.
Right.
I don't need to end up in a hospital somewhere. I'm in the older age group. I'd probably have Broward General here, which would be horrible. So anyway, so I think that this is such an exciting you know, product to be bringing to the market, that I think that it's personally, I mean, I think you guys are like doing it differently. There are a couple companies that have formed that have tried to enter the market, but I think they're just too much Me Too's to distinguish themselves as something really different. With that, because you guys kind of have been working for some time on acquiring the distribution rights for Teoxin, and I'm going to let you give the real blurb on this, because I don't know much about it because I don't get to use it, but it sounds like an amazing new tool in our hyaluronic acid world. And maybe kind of if you could tell us what different types that you might be bringing to the market initially, because you know, again, just like the Dr. Fagan talked about, and actually Shino too, we were talking about, like, every tool is a little different and how we use it, and you know, everything is more, people recognize that they want to have natural appearing end results, and you know, some of the past things were maybe either used inappropriately or maybe just too in the wrong space when we put them in, you know, so there was an unnaturalness initially, and now we're going more natural. So tell us a little bit about the Teoxin or Teoxyl, and when are we going to get our hands on this one?
Sure. So great questions. So as I mentioned, just to sort of up level it again, when we think about as a business, where do we want to grow? Where do we want to innovate? And so if you think about the neurotoxin market, that's the biggest market. So that's where we're in. And then if you look at strategically, what other products fit well in terms of the physician customer we're calling on, the sales rep that's selling the product, and the patient that's getting it. And the most natural partner to a neurotoxin is a filler, because many patients get both. It's the same injector doing it. So while we thought our neurotoxin in and of itself would be sufficient, we sort of thought if we could find a really good filler to partner with our neurotoxin, that would make us a stronger and more formidable company. And so we found Teoxane. It's a Swiss manufacturing company with offices in Paris as well, that really has the latest in innovative hyaluronic acid, which is a type of filler. That's the majority of the filler market that they've developed. And what's really exciting there is if you look at Europe as a whole, they tend to get products much earlier than the United States because the regulatory requirements are a little less stringent. So you get a chance to really see what's new, and it's coming from Europe. And if you look at what Teoxane has developed, they've developed this RHA, which are resilient hyaluronic acid line of fillers, which is the latest innovation in hyaluronic acid technology. And what they did is Valerie Toupin, who's the CEO and founder of the company, was one of the creators of Juvederm. So she's been in the hyaluronic acid field for a long time and understands all these little subtleties. And what they've done is they've figured out how to optimally create the right mix of hyaluronic acid. And there's a lot of things that go into it from a scientific standpoint. It's, is it particle or smooth gel? What's the cross-linking agent that you use? What's the weight of it? That's kind of the science piece of it, but there's an art piece of it as well, which is how do you manufacture it? And they've come up with a really novel, gentle manufacturing process that's designed to preserve as much of the hyaluronic acid in the desired form. And what that has yielded is a product that's easy for the injectors to inject. It's very natural and just it sits really well. So they've got 3 different lines, a RHA 2, a 3, and a 4, and each one of those has a different level of, for argument's sake, viscosity. It's lighter to heavier. And those will then determine sort of how deeply it's used or how superficially. And I'm sure you could spend a lot more time talking about that. But so we're going to give physicians the choice of these technologies to use them where they want. For patients, like you said, 3 to start with. There'll be a 4th one, RHA 1, that right now is slated for 2021. That's going to be for really fine lines and things around the mouth. But we're really excited to be bringing what's the latest in innovation from Europe to the United States with what we think is a first-class filler brand that fits really well with our premium neurotoxin. And if you look at in Europe, they've got about a 9% market share in the top 5 markets, and they don't have a neurotoxin or anything else to partner with. And we think that speaks to the quality of the product.
Right, which is huge because that market is so huge. So if you're on even in the top 10, that is like remarkable. I've had very good feedback from my colleagues across the pond there, and it is an exciting time. Now, let me ask you: are they going to have lidocaine mixed in with them to help with the discomfort, or is that future or?
They are. So they're going to launch. So they're already FDA approved. We were originally going to launch in Q2 of this year, but because of the virus, we pushed it to Q3. They, like us, they went through a shelter in place, so they weren't able to manufacture the product. So we're now planning to launch it in Q3. But the products that are FDA approved do have lidocaine in them. So we will be launching with sort of the market standard.
Lovely. Yeah, because it makes such a difference for the patients as far as discomfort level. What is it going to be named Teoxane or Teoxol, or how is it going to be named?
We're going to go with the RHA 2, 3, and 4. So that will be sort of the product name for each of them. So Teoxane's the parent company. They do have a line of, sort of Teoxol, which was their first version. The RHA is their next generation. So we'll have the RHA 2, 3, and 4.
Cool. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Oh, okay. Well, we are waiting for these products.
Yeah, next quarter, right around the corner.
Yeah, the stupid coronavirus, I hate to play lightly. There are people that are really sick from it, and our hearts go out to them. But it is, it is interesting. And we kind of talked a little bit before we joined up here today for the live. And, it really, I think this is a time that innovation is key, and being the best version of yourself, whether you're a client or a follower or us as providers and you as a company being a provider. I think this is like the opportunity, how do you turn lemonade from lemons? And this is it. I mean, it's about being innovative and bringing things that are going to improve people's life and improve their lifestyles. You know, whatever we can do to not be so in their face, having a longer lasting toxin, we'll do that for sure. You know, and literally in their face because of coronavirus. And now it's my understanding also that the RH line is a little bit longer lasting, or is that not?
Yeah, we won't have a claim on that. We think that their performance will be consistent with others. So we don't have any sort of claims around that. They've done some of their own data from an international perspective, but from a marketing claims perspective, we won't have anything on that.
So, I mean, I think it's more realistic that most people do understand. They come to my office pretty much twice a year on average. I have my frequent flyers that are a little more frequent. And then I have the people that just, you know, they're maybe once a year. Now, I do think that these, you know, especially I think now that the market is opening a little more to men, especially a longer lasting toxin. Almost impossible. So we know it's just a different mindset. We women are used to, you know, not being able to get our hair done, our nails like driving us cuckoo, but guys are like, I'm okay, you know, I'll just like sit here and be grizzly for another month as long as I don't get sick, you know. So there's a different mentality on that one. I mean, I have my patients are texting like, can I come? And I'm like, when we open, yes, I don't want to kill anybody here. So I am anyway, so that is a great start for a budding company that is new to the industry. So we're going to be hearing a lot of our advanced therapeutics. They're going to be seeing that as one of the big players here soon, guys. So don't be shocked when you're like, what is this coming out? You better be watching this out there, because this is amazing new information that is really going to benefit everybody. Now, before we go, I do want to hear, you know, you have the crazy situation like we do here in South Florida. And how are you doing with like keeping yourself normal during this nutty time that we're in?
Yeah, great question. Well, I think there's kind of a few compartments that go to that. So first, on the work side of it, you know, we're still operating as best we can. And the Revance team's done an amazing job shifting from working in the office to now working from home with, you know, sort of different, you know, digital web tools and everything to stay connected. And we have an awful lot to do as a company to get ready for the approval of our Daxi product, to get ready for the launch of our RHA filler line. You know, we're actually still hiring because we have a lot of things that we have to get done. And so I'm still pretty busy from a work standpoint. On the personal side, I'm trying to keep a routine. I think that, you know, one of the ways to stay sane in this environment is to have somewhat of a routine. We also have 4 kids, 2 in college, 2 out of college. And it just so happened that they all happened to be in this area when the shelter in place went down. So 2 are working from home, 2 are doing college from home. And so we've really enjoyed having our kids home, and at the age that they're at, we've had really nice dinners together and great conversation. And so that's really been wonderful. And then also just trying to stay in shape, trying to find things to do as part of that routine to stay in shape, which is not always easy, because the dinners in the evenings, you know, go against a little bit of the working out, but just trying to keep some structure and everything.
Now, okay, wait, everybody has a Peloton. Do you have a Peloton?
We do, yes.
Have you been on your Peloton is the next question.
Yeah, I have. We have a tread as well. So I'll try to do the Peloton tread sometimes and the bike sometimes. So
I swear I'm the last American to not have a Peloton.
That's right. We have to shoot me your username when you get one. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be like racing away.
Right.
I'm so competitive. I'll probably like pull a hamstring or something.
Right.
Well, thank you, Mark, so much for joining us. It was very informative. Oh, do we have a name by any chance for the Daxi product that's coming out?
We don't yet. Part of the naming process is you have to go back and forth with the FDA to find a name that's going to be acceptable. They compare it to a bunch of other databases and names. So we're still waiting for our name for our product name is Daxi botulinum toxin A. We call it sort of Daxi for short, but we're waiting kind of what our formal name is going to be.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great.
And you know what? Stay safe, stay healthy. Tell Dana hi for me
Will
and
do.
enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Janet. Great to see you. Can't wait to see you in person soon. And thanks so much for having me on.
Right. And also, Mark is from Florida. So when
that's right.
Down here.
Absolutely. True Floridian. Right. There we go.
Exactly. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
So that was amazing information, guys. Mark is just such a wow leader, and he will make that company fantastic. And we're so excited to get those products in our hands. And like you kind of heard from what I said earlier, we are trying to kind of head for May 4th opening date, but we are really trying to make sure that it's safe, safe, safe for everybody. And we are trying to really put some strong plans into place because your safety, our staff safety, everybody, that's number one does, of course. We still have gift cards are flying off the shelf as far as, you know, metaphorically speaking. I am going to do on Wednesday, kind of things that I have around the house that are from my office. Like I'm going to show you my new face because I pulled it out of the cobwebs because I'm pretty lazy otherwise. And I got it out and I started using it. I'm like, oh my God, I need to let everybody know about the new face. It does kind of help smooth you out and pull the skin back up. So I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday. We have some pretty good guests that I'm still confirming, but lining up for Wednesday. Actually, we have Dolores Catania, who is one of the New Jersey housewives, is going to join us on Thursday. So you got to like catch up with her. She is a fantastically sweet person, and you guys, you will enjoy it. If nothing else, she is just like a little off the wall, fun, crazy, kooky, awesome person. So you guys stay safe, be healthy. Can't wait to see you. I am so ready to get back in the office. I don't know about you guys, but I'm falling apart between hair, nails, like trying to do this stuff myself. I colored and clipped my hair. So if it looks weird, who knows? Somebody has to go clean it up afterwards. So we will see you guys soon, and be safe. Love you guys. Bye.